You could call it the Clinton family version of if it ain't broke, don't fix it rule. In 1992 and again in 1996, Bill Clinton left the Democratic convention on a bus tour focused on the economy. In 1992 and 1996, Bill Clinton won. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2016 version.
So on our bus tour, we're going to be visiting a few places where people are making things. I find it highly amusing that Donald Trump talks about make America great again. He doesn't make a thing in America except bankruptcies.
Now, that was the launch in Philadelphia. Yesterday's stops included Johnstown. That's blue-collar country in central Pennsylvania, an area Mitt Romney won big in 2012 and where Trump is counting on even deeper support.
Donald Trump may think we never win anymore and our country is full of losers, but boy, is he wrong. We still do big things, and we can do more big things. We're not going to build a giant wall. We're going to build roads and bridges and tunnels.
To continue the flashback moment, it's the economy, stupid, and she seems to get that. The area she was yesterday especially, and watch where they go today, more conservative small towns where Democratic registration outpaces Republicans, but a lot of those people end up voting Republican. How critical is this right out of the box, try to say, we're going to block you in Pennsylvania, Mr. Trump, we're going to try to block you in Ohio, Mr. Trump?
It's incredibly important because if they would happen to hold Pennsylvania, as most Democrats have done, every Democrat has done since 1988, it considerably narrows his path to reaching that 270 electoral vote margin there. So I think that Pennsylvania and Ohio, interesting that they're starting the post-convention like this, because as you said, they do know how this works. It is the economy. And this is going to be followed up by an incredible amount of television ads drilling in the message that he does not make things here, that Donald Trump is a big outsourcer here. So we'll see if it works, but if they can shave down the margins in western Pennsylvania and in working class Ohio, as long as, along with the urban vote in the cities, they can win those states, and that makes it very difficult for him. We talk a lot about the national polls, how tight they are, how narrow it is. From this point forward, the 100-day mark, we have to look state by state at the Electoral College. And at that point right now, she has the edge.
Right, and Trump's quickest path, if you will, is Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and hold North Carolina. If he can do those things and nothing else changes, he wins the presidency. But Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, especially I think Pennsylvania, the most blue of those states. Florida was the closest state back here. But to come right out of the box for the Democrats and stay on the bus tour, the Clintons like this. It has worked for them in the past. They think it shows, you know, you get momentum. You also get a lot of local TV coverage when you go through. You have a national bounce out of the convention, but you try to boost this up. But going straight into, if you will, a weakness, blue-collar white workers.
That's right. I mean, it's a real weakness for the Democrats, particularly this Democrat with her record on TPP, with her record on NAFTA. And in Pennsylvania and Ohio and Florida, a Trump super PAC, Rebuild America Now, is running these very powerful ads with working class, mainly white workers in factories, with the end kind of being this scene of a renewed America and a city skyline. So they've got some real work to do. I think for Trump, the question is, can he really court white blue-collar workers in the way that he has been courting them in the primary without alienating those voters in Florida? So what sort of balance is he going to be able to strike with, on the one hand, trying to court these voters, but also maintain some sort of, or gain some sort of support among the more diverse electorate in Florida?
You know, he also has a very powerful enemy in Ohio in John Kasich, because John Kasich has not been shy, even recently, as I think yesterday, criticizing Trump. He didn't even attend the convention in his in Cleveland. So the fact that he has pitted himself against Kasich over and over again, who's very popular in Ohio, could continue to hurt him going into the general, because there haven't really been many attempts since the convention, or even right before, to make amends with someone who's got so much clout in the state of Ohio.
It's very close at the end. A governor of the political organization pulling the levers of the state politics. One of the things, Matt, that's interesting is if you listen to Hillary Clinton, she said this in her convention speech. Yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd. I like policy. I have detailed plans. She's trying to turn that into advantage, saying maybe I, glaze the eyes over a little bit when I go through this, and this, but the other guy has nothing.
Republican convention, they spent more time on insults for me than on jobs for you. I'm not standing here insulting my opponent and making crazy promises. I'm telling you what I want to do. I actually have plans. Some people make fun of me for having plans. Yeah, I know. It used to hurt my feelings. It doesn't anymore.
you know, she's not a comedian and she's not the best public order, but trying to be a little self-deprecating and trying to, again, turn, some people say, oh, God, I don't want a laundry list of proposals. She's trying to turn it into an asset.
Well, and you look at her reputation in the Senate, where she was very conscious of the workhorse, show horse kind of line, where she did not want to be seen as a show horse. She came in with all of the advantages of the last name. You can sort of see that a little bit in what she's doing now in trying to be the workhorse. And Donald Trump certainly is showy, you know. And so I think that she's trying to turn that into an advantage. And that bus tour sort of shows that a little bit, you know, rolling up your sleeves and driving through portions of Pennsylvania. And she did accomplish one thing where she was on the front page in York and Lancaster and Westchester, you know, these types of cities that and towns that she wants to win. She's getting good coverage out of.